Today's gospel reminds me of a movie entitled Avatar. Ewan ko kung napanood nyo ang pelikulang ito. Avatar, isang futuristic science fiction movie. It tells a story about how human beings at some point in the future have totally depleted the Earth's natural resources and have found themselves in a severe energy crisis. To solve the crisis, they resort to mining in the outer space. Kasi wala na silang mamina sa daigdig. Fortunately for the humans, they discovered a moon named Pandora. Pandora. Actually, the word Pandora is Greek. Ang ibig sabihin, lahat ay regalo. All things are gift. Pandora. So they discovered daw a moon rich in gas and minerals. The minerals that are badly needed by the planet Earth in order to survive. But Pandora is inhabited by creatures. They're like human beings, humanoids. Pero mga higante sila, 10 feet tall, blue ang skin nila, and they live in harmony with nature. And they worship a god they call Ewa. Parang Yahweh, no? Ewa. Now, in order to explore Pandora, the scientists on Earth invented the avatar. Kasi hindi pwede ang human beings sa Pandora. Hindi siya makakahinga. Umimbento sila ng avatar, meaning a life form similar to that of the creatures of Pandora, but animated by a human consciousness. One of the human avatars, however, nung ipadala siya sa Pandora, he fell in love with a native of Pandora and became sympathetic with them. Eventually, he opposed the move of the Human Resources Development Administration that was planning to bulldoze the home tree. Sa gitna ng Pandora, may isang malaking punong kahoy, which was their gathering place for worship. Isipin ninyo, para bang tayo, we come to worship on Sunday. Imagine if we came to worship around a tree. Wow, ang laking tree noon. The gathering place of the creatures of Pandora. The creatures of Pandora are called the Navis. And yung tree, the home tree that happened to be discovered by the humans as standing on the richest source of mineral deposits. At yun ang gustong i-demolish o sirain ng humans to extract the minerals of Pandora. But this human avatar opposed it. Kasi naging kaibigan siya. Through his friendship with the Navis, the sympathetic human avatar discovered the tree of souls, where the Navis seek spiritual refuge. And he joins them in praying to their god, Ewa, through a neural connection with the tree of souls in order to intercede for the navis against his fellow human beings who were about to destroy the home tree. All the other creatures of Pandora suddenly awaken and are mobilized to fight the humans, and they succeed in expelling them out of Pandora and sending them back to their doomed planet Earth. Ang gandang kwento. In today's gospel, Jesus is speaking about the connection between the Father as the vine grower and the Son as the vine, and his disciples as the branches. It is John's own version of the organic unity between Christ and his disciples. Sa version ni St. Paul, ibang analogy ang ginagamit niya. One body, many parts. Sabi ni St. Paul, like a body with many parts, so it is with Christ. Ang version ni St. John, like a vine with many branches, so it is with Christ. If we return to the image of the vine and the branches, the Spirit, as it were, is the lifeline, the principle of connection that makes sure that every branch is linked to the life source so that it remains alive and productive. Tulad natin, we come to the life source. We make sure we're connected, and it is the Spirit that makes sure of that, so that we remain alive and productive. Napakagandang metaphor nito. It can make us understand the reflection of Pope Francis doon sa kanyang encyclical Laudato Si. Nagsulat si Pope Francis ng kanyang encyclical about the environment, the earth as our common home. Nako, nagalit ang maraming mga transnational or multinational companies which are no different from the stupid humans in the movie Avatar, who are bent only on extracting and exploiting the minerals of Pandora by destroying even the home tree that keeps everything else alive in that planet. Si Pope Francis, para siyang human avatar who is telling his fellow human beings, parang awa na ninyo, itigil na ang kabaliwang ito. Stop this madness. You are destroying the home tree. You destroy the whole planet, Pandora. Salamat na lang at futuristic pa yung pelikula. Meaning, wala pa tayo doon. May panahon pa tayo. We still have the time to pause and to examine our destructive ways as human beings. Malay nyo, itong pandemic na ito is an opportunity. The much needed pause that God has given us so that we can still revert from our destructive ways. Hindi pa huli ang lahat. It's not yet too late. But we have already been in our self-destruct mode. We have not realized that we have been destroying our very lifeline. That by disconnecting ourselves from our source and from one another, we're killing ourselves. Para kang nasa outer space, nakadugtong ka sa mothership. And because you enjoyed yourself, pinutol mo ang connection mo sa mothership. That is stupid. But in many ways, that is what we're doing when we disconnect from God. One of the most hopeful signs in the Philippines, in the midst of this pandemic crisis, has been the multiplication of the community pantries around the country. Nagsimula sa isa, nagmultiply na nagmultiply. I think last Sunday, I mentioned that the latest count was 500. Hindi na mabilang ngayon. There are literally thousands already. Hanggang sa ibang bansa, naiimbento na ang community pantries. It is a good sign. It is a sign that we are awakening to the madness of individualism, unrestrained capitalism, and consumerism. Our tendency to be conditioned by what Pope Francis calls a throwaway culture. Isang kulturang maaksaya. Bago nangyari ang pandemic na to, you know, more than half of the agricultural products of the world go to waste. Overproduction. Pero hindi nila ipapamigay. Kailangan sirain nila para manatili ang presyo. We are waking up and realizing it is never too late to undo what has been done, to reconfigure ourselves, to take responsibility for one another. That apart from each other, we cannot survive. That we really are such fragile creatures. Katulad ng mga dinosaurs that existed once upon a time on this world, but were suddenly wiped out. Sa palagay niyo ba, hindi pwedeng mangyari din sa atin yon? Now we realize, one little virus can wipe us out. Nakakatakot, di ba? Lalo na pag naririnig natin ang nangyayari sa India, the biggest producer of vaccines. They never preempted this. Ngayon, hindi nila alam how to cremate the dead. Ang nakikita natin, kahit sa mga parking spaces, nagsusunog sila ng mga bangkay. My God, may that day never happen to us. Pero ganyan, parang nahimasmasan tayo sa pandemyang ito. Wala tayong may pagmamalaki. We can get wiped out. And this virus continues to mutate. Yung kahit anong galing ng mga scientists, hindi nila ma-anticipate. Hindi nila ma-preempt. Hindi tayo Diyos. We are fragile creatures. Long before the film, long before the movie Avatar was produced, may isang singer, singer ng alternative music, and a great environmentalist himself, dito sa Pilipinas, na ang pangalan ay Joey Ayala. Already many decades ago, he was singing a song about the organic unity of all things in this world. Alam niyo ba yung kantang, ang lahat ng bagay magkakaugnay-ugnay. Everything in this world is interconnected. Tinranslate ko yung kanta niya into English. Ganito yung sinasabi pag in-English mo. All things are connected. Yes, all creatures. We have but one origin and one destination. Each one is family. Each one is relative. Each one is a tribe mate. Yes, everything that lives on earth, in the sea, or in the air, we are riding on the same ship that orbits the open space, circling around a star that nourishes the trees, the animals, and ourselves. Alam ko, merong iba nagre-react sa mga ganyang kaisipan about the interconnectedness of everything. In fact, even Pope Francis is being accused of being pantheistic. Ibig sabihin, ang lahat ay Diyos. I don't think Pope Francis is saying that. He is just reasserting our interconnectedness, and today's gospel confirms that. The vine and the branches. Well, if you think Avatar or Joey Ayala are pantheistic, I suggest you read the letter of St. Paul to the Colossians, chapter 1, verses 15 to 20. Listen to what St. Paul is saying. He says, Christ is the image of the invisible God. Siya ang larawan ng hindi nakikitang Diyos, the firstborn of all creation, panganay ng sangnilikha. In Christ, all things in heaven and on earth, both visible and invisible, all things were created through Him and for Him. Wow! Kay Kristo daw, ang lahat ng bagay na nilikha sa langit at sa lupa, nakikita at hindi nakikita, ay nilikha sa pamamagitan niya at alang-alang sa Kanya. He is before all things, and in Christ all things hold together. He is the head of the body, the church. Ay kung mag-switch tayo kay St. John, He is the vine, and we are the branches. He is like the home tree, which we all are connected to. Destroy the tree, we're destroying ourselves. He is the beginning, the firstborn from the dead, so that in all things He Himself might be preeminent. For in Him all the fullness was pleased to dwell, through Him to reconcile all things for Him, making peace by the blood of His cross, through Him, whether those on earth or those in heaven.